Good day. Once again, welcome to Bite-Sized Essentials. Embark on a journey to master the English language examinations with an edge. From crafting captivating narratives to constructing compelling arguments and engaging in insightful situational writing, this guide delves into each component with precision and creativity. Elevate your skills in descriptive, expository, and creative compositions. Navigate the nuances of formal and informal communication, and embrace the challenges of grammar, reading comprehension, and listening tests. Prepare to transform your approach to English, enhancing not just your test scores, but your overall command of the language. Remember to forward this video and subscribe to us. Choose Receive All Notifications so you will continuously improve with us by receiving all updates. Welcome to a transformative learning experience. Here, the complete guide to help you excel in every component of your English examinations is designed to significantly elevate your proficiency in English. Whether you're a beginner or seeking to refine your skills, this guide promises comprehensive insights into mastering the language's intricate elements. Embrace this opportunity to enrich your understanding and command of English, a key to unlocking endless possibilities in communication and expression. You may watch the entire video to gain a complete understanding of the different sections of the full set of the English language syllabus. Or you may also skip to the section that is relevant to your English language examination syllabus. Watch this video as many times as you want until you are familiar with the section concerned. Narrative composition. Now, I want to share with you the art of acing a narrative composition and how to make your writing stand out in a sea of stories. Writing a narrative isn't just about telling a story. It's about engaging your reader, painting a picture so vivid that they feel part of the narrative. Firstly, every memorable narrative composition starts with a hook, an opening line, or a paragraph that grabs attention. Imagine starting a story like this. Under the light of a blood-red moon, Sarah found the last piece of the puzzle that was her past. This sentence not only intrigues the reader, but also sets the tone for what's to come. Let's talk about characters. Your characters are the heart and soul of your narrative. They need to be relatable, flawed, and real. Give them desires, fears, strengths, and weaknesses. For instance, Sarah, from our opening line, could be a brave but impulsive archaeologist driven by the mystery of her unknown heritage, which sometimes leads her to dangerous situations. This makes her more than a character. It makes her a person we want to follow on her journey. Plot development is your narrative's backbone. It should be a mix of predictable and unpredictable elements. A good narrative takes its readers through twists and turns, ups and downs, making them yearn to know what happens next. In Sarah's story, imagine she's not just uncovering her past, but also an ancient secret that others are desperate to keep hidden. This adds layers of conflict and intrigue, pushing your story beyond the ordinary. Another key element is setting. Your setting isn't just a backdrop, it's a living, breathing part of your story. Describe it in a way that complements the mood and tone of your narrative. If Sarah is exploring an ancient ruin, let the reader feel the eerie silence of the forgotten halls and the weight of history around them. Dialogue is a powerful tool in your narrative arsenal. It should reflect the personality of your characters and the world they inhabit. It's not just about what is said, but how it's said. For Sarah, her dialogue could be a mix of academic jargon and a wry sense of humor, showing her intelligence and her way of coping with stress. A standout narrative also needs vivid imagery and sensory details. Don't just tell your readers about the world, show it to them. Use metaphors and similes to create images that stick in their minds. For example, the ancient walls whispered secrets of forgotten civilizations, as Sarah's torch cast dancing shadows that played with her imagination. Lastly, your narrative needs a strong conclusion. It should tie up the loose ends, answer the main questions, and leave your reader satisfied, yet wanting more. In Sarah's story, the conclusion could reveal a part of her past that redefines her future, closing one chapter of her life and teasing the next adventure. In closing, Remember that writing a narrative composition is an adventure in itself. It's about creating a world that you and your readers can get lost in. Be bold, be imaginative, and most importantly, be true to the story you want to tell. Now go, write, and let the world hear your story.
Argumentative writing. Next, we embark on a journey through the intricacies of writing an argumentative composition, an essential skill not just for tests, but for life itself. An argumentative composition is not merely about stating your opinion, it's about presenting a well-reasoned argument that persuades your reader to see things from your perspective. First and foremost, understanding the topic at hand is crucial. Read the question carefully and ensure you comprehend what is being asked. If the topic is, for instance, should education be free for everyone, understand that this is not just a question about education, but also about economics, social equity, and policy. Once you've grasped the topic, begin with a clear and strong thesis statement. This is your stance, your argument's foundation. For our example, your thesis could be, education should be free for everyone, as it is a fundamental right and leads to a more equitable and prosperous society. Notice how this statement is direct, clear, and lays the groundwork for further discussion. The body of your composition is where you build your case. Each paragraph should present a distinct point that supports your thesis. Use evidence, facts, and examples to strengthen your argument. For example, you might argue that free education reduces the gap between social classes, backing it up with data from countries where this policy has been successful. However, a good argument doesn't just present one side, it acknowledges and addresses opposing viewpoints. This demonstrates critical thinking and strengthens your position. For instance, you might concede that implementing free education is costly, but argue that the long-term economic benefits outweigh the initial investment. Transitioning between points is vital. Your composition should flow logically. Phrases like furthermore, however, or in contrast help guide your reader through your arguments, making your composition cohesive and compelling. Your choice of words is also important. An argumentative composition calls for formal and persuasive language. Avoid slang and colloquialisms. Instead, opt for words that convey certainty and conviction, such as clearly, undeniably, or evidently. Don't underestimate the power of a well-crafted conclusion. This is where you reinforce your thesis and leave a lasting impression on your reader. Summarize your main points and restate your thesis, perhaps with a broader implication. You could end with something like, making education universally accessible not only upholds basic human rights, but paves the way for a more informed, tolerant, and progressive society. Now let's talk about the practical aspects of the test. Time management is key. Allocate time for planning, writing, and revising. Start by briefly outlining your main points. This helps keep your writing focused. Leave a few minutes at the end to review your composition. Look for grammatical errors. Check if your arguments are well structured and your points are clearly articulated. To sum up, writing an argumentative composition is about more than just presenting your point of view. It's about constructing a logical, well-supported argument that engages and persuades your reader. Remember, it's not just what you argue, but how you argue it. With practice, patience, and persistence, you can master the art of argumentative writing.
Situational writing, understanding the type and the context. Next, I would like to delve into the world of situational writing, a form of composition that often seems straightforward, but holds immense potential for creativity and impact. The essence of situational writing is to respond to a given scenario in a manner that is both effective and engaging. Let's explore how you can ace this form of writing and truly make your work stand out. First and foremost, understanding the context is crucial. Situational writing often involves responding to a specific scenario, like writing a letter of complaint, a speech, or a report. Let's take, for example, the task of writing a letter to a local council about a pressing community issue. The key here is to grasp not just the format of a formal letter, but also the nuances of the issue at hand. Your opening could be something like, I am writing to draw your attention to the increasing concerns regarding the safety of the children's playground at Eldon Park. This introduction immediately sets the stage for a focused and relevant discussion. Clarity and conciseness are your allies. Unlike narrative writing, where descriptive language enriches the story, situational writing demands a more straightforward approach. Every sentence should serve a purpose. For instance, in our letter to the council, you might say, the playground equipment, which is over a decade old, poses a safety risk due to its deteriorated condition. This sentence concisely highlights the problem without unnecessary embellishments. However, standing out in situational writing doesn't mean sticking rigidly to a formula. It's about making your writing compelling and persuasive. This can be achieved through the use of strong but respectful language, clear arguments, and relevant examples. In our letter, you could include a recent incident. Just last week, a swing broke midair, leading to a minor injury for a young child. This incident has raised serious concerns among parents in our community. Another key aspect is the organization of your content. Your writing should flow logically, with each paragraph transitioning smoothly into the next. In a persuasive piece, like our letter, you might structure it by first stating the issue, then providing evidence or examples, followed by a suggestion for improvement, and concluding with a call to action. For example, after highlighting the problem, you might propose, a renovation of the playground with new, safer equipment would not only resolve these safety concerns, but also provide a much-needed update to our community facilities. Your conclusion should reinforce your main points and leave a lasting impression. A strong closing for our letter could be, I trust that the Council will take prompt action to address these safety concerns, ensuring Eldon Park remains a cherished and safe space for our children to play and grow. Finally, remember that attention to detail in terms of format, tone, and grammar can make a significant difference in the effectiveness of your situational writing. Adhering to the conventions of the format you are writing in, whether it's a report, letter, or speech, shows a level of professionalism and respect for the reader. All in all, acing situational writing is about blending clarity, relevance, organization, and a touch of creativity. It's about presenting your ideas in a manner that is not just correct, but also compelling. With practice and attention to these key elements, you can elevate your situational writing from mere responses to impactful communications.
Speech writing. Now, I am here to discuss how to excel in writing a speech, particularly in the context of situational writing. Writing a speech is a unique challenge. It requires you not only to convey information, but to do so in a way that is engaging and impactful to your audience. Let's explore the key strategies to master this art. Firstly, understanding the context is paramount. In situational writing, you are often given a specific scenario and audience. For instance, imagine you are asked to write a speech for a school event on the importance of teamwork. Here, your audience is primarily students and teachers. Recognizing this helps tailor your content and style to suit their interests and understanding. The opening of your speech sets the tone. Start with something that grabs attention. A quote, a startling fact, or a question. For our teamwork speech, you might begin with a quote from Helen Keller. Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. This not only engages your audience, but also succinctly introduces your topic. Clarity and structure are the backbones of a good speech. Organize your speech into a clear introduction, body, and conclusion. In the body, present your main ideas in a logical sequence. If you're discussing teamwork, you might have 3 main points: the value of diverse skills, the importance of communication, and the power of a shared goal. Each point should be explained with examples or anecdotes, making them relatable and memorable. Use language that resonates with your audience. In a speech for a school event, a conversational and slightly informal tone often works well. Use short sentences and everyday language to keep your audience engaged. Avoid jargon or complex language that might confuse your audience. Another key element is the use of rhetorical devices. Metaphors, similes, and analogies make your speech more vivid and impactful. For instance, you could compare a well-coordinated team to a symphony orchestra where different instruments come together to create a harmonious piece. Incorporating personal stories or experiences can greatly enhance your speech. People connect with personal stories more than abstract concepts. Share a brief story about a time when teamwork helped you achieve a goal. This not only makes your speech more engaging, but also authentic. The conclusion of your speech is as important as the introduction. It's your final chance to leave an impression on your audience. Summarize your main points and end with a call to action or a thought-provoking statement. You might conclude with something like, "Let's embrace the spirit of teamwork, for together we are stronger, wiser, and unstoppable." Finally, practice is crucial. Read your speech aloud, time it, and ensure it fits within the given time frame. Pay attention to your tone, pace, and pauses. A well-delivered speech is not just about the words you choose, but how you present them. To conclude, acing a speech in situational writing requires a clear understanding of the context, a structured approach, engaging content, and a style that resonates with your audience. Remember, a great speech can inspire, inform, and ignite change. So embrace this opportunity to hone your skills and make a lasting impact.
Formal and informal letter. Today, I am here to guide you through the nuances of writing two distinct types of letters, the formal letter and the informal letter. Each serves a different purpose and adheres to its own set of conventions. Mastering both is a valuable skill, crucial in various contexts of communication. Let's begin with the formal letter. This type of letter is typically used for professional or official communication. It requires a certain level of decorum, precision, and clarity. Imagine you are writing to a local council to request the installation of more streetlights in your neighborhood. This situation demands a formal approach. A formal letter starts with your address at the top, followed by the date, and then the recipient's address. You open with a formal salutation, such as Dear Sir Madam, if you do not know the recipient's name, or Dear Mr. Mrs., last name, if you do. The tone throughout should be respectful and professional. Your opening paragraph should clearly state your purpose. I am writing to bring to your attention a matter of public safety concerning inadequate street lighting in our community. Your body paragraphs should elaborate on the issue, providing necessary details, facts, or figures. It's important to be concise yet thorough. For instance, the lack of sufficient lighting has resulted in several incidents of petty crime and has made it unsafe for residents to commute during evening hours. Conclude your letter by summarizing your request and expressing gratitude. A formal closing, such as yours sincerely, followed by your full name, is the standard way to end the letter. Now, let's switch gears to informal letters. These are personal letters written to friends, family, or acquaintances. They are more relaxed and conversational. For instance, you might write an informal letter to a friend describing your experience at a recent science fair. In an informal letter, you can start with a less formal address, like hi name, or just the person's name. The tone can be friendly and personal. You can use contractions, colloquial language, and even slang if it's appropriate for your relationship with the recipient. The content can be more descriptive and expressive. For example, the science fair was amazing. I got to see some mind-blowing experiments and even participated in a robotics workshop. Share your experiences, thoughts, or feelings in a relaxed manner. You can jump from one topic to another more freely than in a formal letter. However, ensure that your letter is coherent and engaging. Conclude your informal letter with a warm closing like, take care, see you soon, or lots of love, followed by your first name or nickname. The key differences between formal and informal letters lie in their structure, tone, and language. Formal letters adhere to a specific format and a professional tone, addressing specific issues or requests. Informal letters, on the other hand, are more about personal communication and are much freer in terms of format and language. In summary, mastering both formal and informal letters involves understanding their context, purpose, and the conventions that govern them. For formal letters, focus on clarity, professionalism, and adherence to formalities. For informal letters, embrace a conversational tone and personal touch. Remember, whether formal or informal, your letter should always be clear, coherent, and purposeful, reflecting the relationship you have with the recipient and the message you wish to convey. Formal letter and formal email versus informal letter and informal email. In the realm of communication, the art of writing is pivotal. At this moment, I aim to elucidate the differences and nuances between writing a formal letter and an informal email, each a cornerstone in the edifice of effective communication. As we delve into this topic, we'll explore examples and context distinguishing between these two forms, as well as their respective formal and informal counterparts. Let's embark on our journey with the formal letter. This mode of communication is steeped in tradition and formality, serving as a vital tool in professional and official exchanges. Picture yourself writing to a government department to raise a concern about local infrastructure. Your formal letter should adhere to a structured format, beginning with your address at the top, followed by the date, and then the recipient's address. The salutation should mirror the formality, such as Dear Sir Madam or Dear Title and Last Name. The language must be formal, respectful, and precise. For instance, I am writing to express my concern regarding the recent issues with public transportation in our area. The closing should be equally formal, typically ending with yours faithfully or yours sincerely, followed by your full name and signature. Now, let's turn to the formal email, which, while similar in tone and language to the formal letter, diverges in format and medium. A formal email might be addressed to a colleague or a client. Though it maintains a professional tone, the rigid structure of a formal letter is relaxed. For instance, the sender's and recipient's addresses are not required. Instead, a succinct subject line takes precedence, such as meeting request, project collaboration. The salutation remains formal, but can be slightly less ceremonious, such as, hello, Mr. Ms., last name. The body follows the same principles of clarity and formality. The sign-off can be best regards or sincerely, followed by your name. The immediacy and digital nature of emails make them more suited for timely communication. Shifting gears to the informal letter, this form is often personal, brimming with individuality and warmth. Imagine writing to an old friend about recent life events. The informal letter allows for a relaxed structure. You can start with dear first name or even a nickname. The language is casual, replete with colloquialisms and expressions of emotion. For example, I can't believe how long it's been since we last met. So much has happened. The sign-off can be as warm and personal as the greeting, like lots of love or cheers, followed by your first name. In contrast, the informal email, while similar in tone to the informal letter, aligns more with the digital era's speed and brevity. It's perfect for quick, friendly updates or plans. An informal email to a friend about catching up might have a subject line like, long time, no see, and open with a breezy, hey, first name. The body is concise and to the point, peppered with informal language and even emojis. The closing is often brief, such as talk soon or take care, followed by your first name or nickname. To summarize, the formal letter and formal email share a professional tone, respectfulness, and clarity, but differ in format and medium. The informal letter and informal email are similar in their casual tone and personal touch, yet differ in their brevity and immediacy. Mastering these forms is a dance of adapting your language, tone, and format to the context and medium, ensuring your message is not only heard, but also felt in the way you intend. Descriptive composition. Now, I'm here to talk about how to ace writing a descriptive composition, a form of writing that brings the world to life through words. In a descriptive composition, your goal is to paint a vivid picture in the reader's mind, using detailed observations and rich language. Let's explore how you can master this art and create evocative, memorable descriptions. First and foremost, the key to a great descriptive composition is observation. Before you start writing, take a moment to really see what you're about to describe. Imagine you're standing in a bustling city street. Notice the details, the colors, the sounds, the smells. Is the traffic loud? Are there street vendors selling food? What does the air smell like? The more you observe, the more material you have to work with. Once you've gathered your observations, it's time to start writing. Begin with an engaging opening that draws your reader into the scene. For example, the city street was a canvas of urban vibrancy, with the sun reflecting off towering glass buildings and the air filled with a symphony of urban sounds. Notice how this sentence not only sets the scene, but also uses metaphor and descriptive language to create a vivid image. As you move into the body of your composition, focus on using sensory details to bring your description to life. Describe not just what you see, but also what you hear, smell, taste, and touch. For instance, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee wafted from the corner cafe, mingling with the distant sound of car horns and the gentle murmur of pedestrian chatter. This kind of multi-sensory description helps your reader to feel immersed in the setting. Another important aspect is the use of figurative language, similes, metaphors, and personification. These devices can add depth and creativity to your descriptions. For example, the skyscrapers stood like silent giants, casting long shadows over the streets below. Here, the metaphor gives personality to the buildings and enhances the imagery. Don't forget about the emotion and mood. Your description should convey not just the physical aspects of the scene, but also the emotional resonance. Is the atmosphere of the street busy and chaotic? Or is it serene and peaceful? Let your word choice reflect the mood. You might write, in the midst of the city's hustle and bustle, there was an underlying rhythm, a pulse of life that was both exhilarating and overwhelming. As you conclude your composition, try to leave your reader with a lasting image or thought. This could be a reflective comment or a unique observation that sums up the essence of the scene. For instance, as the sun set, the city street transformed, with neon lights flickering to life, reminding me that every ending is just the start of something new. In summary, to ace a descriptive composition, focus on detailed observation, use sensory language, employ figurative language creatively, capture the mood and emotion, and conclude with a lasting impression. Remember, the power of descriptive writing lies in its ability to transport the reader to another place, to make them feel as if they are part of the scene you have painted with your words.
Expository composition. Next, I'm here to talk about mastering the art of expository writing, a crucial skill not just for academic success, but for effective communication in many aspects of life. An expository composition is all about explaining or informing. It requires clarity, organization, and a deep understanding of the topic at hand. Let's dive into how you can excel in this form of writing. First and foremost, the heart of expository writing is clarity. Your primary goal is to convey information in a way that is both understandable and engaging. Imagine you're writing about the importance of renewable energy. The key is to start with a clear, concise thesis statement that outlines your main idea. For example, renewable energy is crucial for sustainable development as it reduces dependency on fossil fuels and mitigates environmental impacts. Once you have your thesis, the next step is to structure your composition effectively. An expository essay typically follows a 5-paragraph format: an introduction with your thesis statement, 3 body paragraphs each presenting a key point, and a conclusion that summarizes your main points and restates your thesis. This structure helps keep your writing focused and makes it easier for your readers to follow your argument. In each body paragraph, present one key point that supports your thesis and back it up with evidence. For instance, one paragraph could focus on how renewable energy reduces carbon emissions. Here, you could use statistics, examples, or expert quotes to strengthen your point. Remember, every piece of evidence should directly support your main argument. Transitions are vital in expository writing. They help your essay to flow smoothly from one point to the next. Phrases like, in addition, furthermore, or however guide your reader through your arguments, ensuring that your composition is cohesive and logical. Another important aspect of expository writing is your choice of language. Since the aim is to inform and explain, your language should be clear, precise, and formal. Avoid slang or conversational tones. Use technical terms when necessary, but make sure to explain them so that your reader can easily understand your points. Now let's talk about the conclusion. This is your chance to reinforce your thesis and main points. A strong conclusion doesn't just repeat what has been said, it ties all your points together in a way that emphasizes the importance of your topic. You might end your essay on renewable energy with a call to action or a statement about the potential future impact of renewable energy adoption. It's also crucial to revise and edit your work. Look for areas where you can improve clarity and coherence. Check for grammatical errors and ensure that your writing is concise and to the point. A well-written expository composition is not just informative, it's also a pleasure to read. In summary, acing an expository composition involves presenting a clear thesis, structuring your essay effectively, using evidence to support your points, making smooth transitions, choosing appropriate language, and crafting a strong conclusion. With practice and attention to these elements, you can become proficient in expository writing, a skill that will serve you well in many areas of life.
Argumentative/persuasive writing. For this segment, I want to share with you the art of writing argumentative and persuasive compositions. These forms of writing are not just about presenting your opinion, they are about convincing your audience with logic, evidence, and emotion. Let's delve into how you can master these powerful styles of writing. Firstly, understanding the difference between argumentative and persuasive writing is key. Argumentative writing focuses on logical reasoning and evidence to support a point, while persuasive writing may also appeal to emotions and moral values. Regardless of the style, the first step is selecting a debatable and relevant topic. For instance, consider a topic like the impact of social media on mental health. This is a timely and contentious issue, providing ample scope for argumentation. In an argumentative composition, begin with a clear and strong thesis statement. This statement should succinctly present your main argument. For our topic, it could be, social media significantly impacts mental health by promoting unrealistic life standards and creating addictive behaviors. This thesis is direct and lays the groundwork for further discussion. Next, the body of your composition should consist of several paragraphs, each presenting a key point that supports your thesis. Use credible sources to back your arguments. For example, you might cite studies that show increased rates of anxiety and depression linked to social media usage. Ensure each argument logically flows to the next, creating a cohesive narrative. In persuasive writing, while evidence is important, the emotional appeal is equally significant. Here, you can include personal anecdotes, rhetorical questions, or emotionally charged language to connect with your audience on a deeper level. For instance, consider the teenager who, bombarded with images of perfect lives on social media, begins to question her own worth and spirals into self-doubt. While presenting your arguments, do not ignore the opposing viewpoint. Acknowledging and respectfully countering opposing arguments is a sign of a well-rounded composition. You could address counter-arguments by conceding certain points, but then using evidence to show why your argument is stronger. For instance, while some argue that social media can be a tool for positive social connection, the overwhelming evidence of its negative impact on mental health cannot be ignored. Transitions between paragraphs are crucial for maintaining a logical flow. Phrases like furthermore, however, or consequently guide your reader through your line of reasoning. Your conclusion should restate your thesis and summarize your main points. This is your final opportunity to convince your reader. End with a powerful statement or a call to action that leaves a lasting impression. For example, it is time we acknowledge the darker side of social media and take steps to protect our mental well-being. Lastly, remember that your writing style matters. Use a formal academic tone for argumentative compositions and a more emotional, persuasive tone for persuasive writing. Be concise, clear, and confident in your statements. In summary, acing an argumentative or persuasive composition involves selecting a relevant topic, crafting a clear thesis, logically organizing your arguments with credible evidence, understanding the emotional appeal, acknowledging counterarguments, and concluding with impact. With practice and dedication, you can master these styles of writing, becoming not just a writer, but a persuasive communicator.
Reflective composition. Next, I am delighted to share insights into acing a reflective composition, a deeply personal yet structured form of writing. Reflective writing is an exploration, an invitation to delve into your experiences, analyze them, and draw meaningful conclusions. Let's embark on this journey of introspection and expression. Firstly, understand the essence of reflective writing. It's more than recounting an event. It's about reflecting on your experiences, feelings, and responses, and how they contribute to your personal growth or understanding. A reflective composition often follows a particular incident or experience, but it could also stem from a thought, a book, or any other stimulus that evokes a deep response. Let's consider an example. Suppose you choose to write about your experience of volunteering at a local shelter. The key is not just to describe what happened, but to delve into how this experience impacted you, what you learned, and how it changed your perspective. Begin your composition with a clear introduction of the experience or event. Set the scene for your readers. You might start with, last summer volunteering at the local shelter, I encountered stories of resilience and hardship that profoundly altered my understanding of empathy and community. In the body of your composition, describe your experience in detail, but remember to weave in your reflections. Discuss your feelings, thoughts, and reactions as the events unfolded. For instance, as I listened to the stories of the shelter residents, I felt a mix of emotions: sadness for their hardships, admiration for their strength, and a growing sense of gratitude for the privileges I often took for granted. A crucial element of reflective writing is the analysis. Ask yourself questions like, why did this experience affect me so deeply? What did it teach me about myself or the world around me? Answering these questions helps you to analyze and interpret the experience on a deeper level. Continuing with our example, you might write, this experience made me realize how sheltered my life had been and how little I knew of the world beyond my immediate surroundings. Do not shy away from discussing any changes or growth that occurred as a result of the experience. Reflective writing is about evolution, be it emotional, intellectual, or social. For instance, this volunteering experience was a turning point, prompting me to take more proactive steps towards community involvement and social awareness. As you conclude your composition, summarize the key insights gained and how this experience has shaped you. Reflect on the broader implications of your experience. Perhaps, Volunteering at the shelter not only opened my eyes to the complexities of homelessness, but also instilled in me a lifelong commitment to social justice. Remember, a reflective composition is deeply personal and subjective. However, maintaining a balance between narration and reflection is crucial. Your writing should flow cohesively as you transition from describing events to discussing their impact. In summary, acing a reflective composition involves introspection, descriptive yet thoughtful narration, deep analysis, and personal growth. It's about connecting your experiences to a broader context and understanding their significance in your life's journey.
Creative composition. Now, I am thrilled to talk about acing the art of writing a creative composition, a form of writing that allows you to explore the boundless territories of your imagination. Creative writing is not just about stringing words together. It's about weaving a tapestry of narratives that captivates the reader's mind, heart, and soul. Let's embark on a journey to unravel the secrets of successful creative writing. First and foremost, the heart of creative composition is the story. Every great story begins with an idea, but what transforms an idea into a compelling narrative is its execution. Imagine you're writing a story about a young girl who discovers a magical world within her grandmother's attic. The premise is simple yet intriguing. The key is how you develop it into a full-fledged story. Start with a strong opening. Your first sentence or paragraph should hook the reader immediately. For our story, you might begin with, "On the day Lily turned 10, she found more than dusty boxes and forgotten trinkets in her grandmother's attic. She stumbled upon a portal to a world she never believed could exist." This opening not only sets the scene, but also piques curiosity. Characters are the soul of your story. Develop characters that are relatable, flawed, and multidimensional. Give them desires, fears, quirks, and a distinct voice. In Lily's case, perhaps she's curious, brave, but also feels out of place in her mundane world. This complexity adds depth to her character and makes readers care about her journey. Plot and structure are the skeleton of your composition. While creativity knows no bounds, a disorganized narrative can lose the reader. Plot out your story having a clear idea of where it starts, the main conflicts, and how it resolves. The magical world in Lily's attic should not just be fantastical, but must also serve a purpose in her journey. Is it a place of escape, adventure, or does it hold a secret about her family? Setting is another crucial element. Your setting should be more than just a backdrop. It should enhance the story. Describe the attic and the magical world with vivid details. Use sensory descriptions to make it come alive. For instance, the attic was a labyrinth of shadows and whispers, while the world beyond was a kaleidoscope of shimmering light and enchanting melodies. Language and style are where your creativity truly shines. Play with metaphors, similes, and imaginative descriptions. However, be cautious not to overdo it. The beauty of creative writing lies in its balance, being descriptive yet concise, imaginative yet coherent. Don't forget the emotional arc. A story that evokes emotions is a story that stays with the reader. Lily's journey should not just be physical but emotional as well. Perhaps her adventures help her understand her place in the world or come to terms with a personal struggle. Finally, the conclusion of your story should be satisfying and in some way conclusive, even if you leave room for further imagination or sequels. Bring Lily's journey to a close in a manner that resonates with the essence of your story. In summary, acing a creative composition involves crafting a compelling narrative, creating multidimensional characters, structuring your plot, setting your story in a vivid world, using language creatively, and weaving an emotional arc. Remember, creative writing is a journey. It is as much about the process of creation as it is about the final product.
Brochure writing. Next, I want to share with you the art of acing brochure writing, especially within the context of situational writing tests. Writing a brochure isn't just about presenting information. It's about crafting an engaging and persuasive narrative that captures the essence of a product, service, or event. Let's delve into the strategies and techniques that can help you excel in this unique and practical form of writing. Firstly, understanding the purpose and audience of your brochure is paramount. Are you promoting a travel destination, advertising a new product, or informing about a health service? Each of these requires a different approach and tone. For instance, if you're creating a brochure for a new eco-friendly resort, your target audience is likely to be environmentally conscious travelers. The key to a successful brochure lies in its ability to grab attention. Start with a compelling headline. It should be catchy, clear, and relevant to your topic. For our eco-friendly resort, a headline like, "Discover Serenity and Sustainability at Greenhaven Resort" immediately gives the reader a glimpse of what to expect. Next, focus on the visual elements. A brochure is not just about text, it's about images and design as well. Use high-quality, relevant images that complement and enhance your text. For example, pictures of the resort's natural setting, eco-friendly amenities, and happy guests can create a visually appealing and persuasive narrative. Let's talk about the content. Your brochure should provide essential information in a concise and organized manner. Break down the text into sections or bullet points for easy reading. Each section should cover a specific aspect of what you're promoting. In our resort brochure, one section could highlight the unique eco-friendly features, another could showcase the various activities available, and a third could detail the accommodations and amenities. Language and tone are crucial in brochure writing. Use persuasive and positive language that evokes emotions and creates a sense of desire. Phrases like escape to a paradise or immerse yourself in luxury can be very effective. However, ensure that the tone aligns with your brand and audience. For a family-oriented resort, a friendly and welcoming tone would be appropriate, while a luxury brand might opt for a more sophisticated style. Don't forget to include a call to action. This is what prompts your reader to take the next step, whether it's making a booking, visiting a website, or attending an event. A simple, clear call to action like book your stay today and embrace nature can significantly impact the brochure's effectiveness. Lastly, the brochure should be well-structured and easy to navigate. Organize the information logically, use headings and subheadings effectively, and ensure that the layout is reader-friendly. The goal is to guide the reader through the brochure in a way that is both enjoyable and informative. In conclusion, acing a brochure in a situational writing composition test involves understanding your audience and purpose, creating a compelling headline, utilizing visuals effectively, writing persuasive content, and including a clear call to action. Remember, a brochure is more than just an information leaflet. It's a storytelling tool that can inspire, inform, and persuade.
Grammar test. Now, I want to share some valuable insights on how to excel in a grammar test. Grammar, the backbone of any language, can sometimes seem daunting with its rules and exceptions. However, with the right approach and understanding, acing a grammar test can be a less intimidating and more rewarding experience. First and foremost, understanding the basics is crucial. Grammar is not just about memorizing rules, it's about understanding how language works. Start with the fundamentals, parts of speech, sentence structures, verb tenses, and punctuation. These are the building blocks of grammar. For instance, understanding the difference between your and your is essential. Your indicates possession, as in, is this your book? Whereas your is a contraction of you are, used like this. You're going to ace this test. Another key aspect is regular practice. Grammar, like any other skill, improves with practice. Work on exercises, take mock tests, and engage with interactive grammar quizzes. This not only familiarizes you with different question formats, but also helps reinforce your learning. Imagine a question asking you to choose the correct form of the verb. She runs, ran 5 miles every day. The correct answer, runs, becomes apparent with practice and understanding subject-verb agreement. Contextual learning is also incredibly important. Understanding grammar in isolation is one thing, but seeing how it functions in real-life scenarios or sentences is another. Read widely, books, articles, essays, and pay attention to sentence structure and word usage. Notice how a comma can change the meaning of a sentence, as in, let's eat grandma versus let's eat grandma. The first sentence is a friendly invitation, while the second, humorously, suggests cannibalism. Next, let's talk about the tricky part, exceptions and irregularities. English is full of them, and they can be challenging. But don't be daunted. Tackle them one at a time. For instance, irregular verbs don't follow the standard rules of conjugation. Go becomes went, not goed. Create a list of these irregularities and review them regularly. A useful tip is to learn through mnemonics and memory aids. For example, remember the order of adjectives with the acronym OSASCOMP: opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, purpose. So you would say a lovely little old rectangular green French silver whittling knife, and not in any other random order. During the test, read each question carefully. Grammar tests can be tricky, and a slight oversight can lead to a wrong answer. Look out for common distractors like homophones, such as there, and there. Each sounds the same, but has a distinct usage. Their house is beautiful. Possession. They're going to the park. They are. And the park is over there. Location. Lastly, don't forget to review and revise. Before submitting your test, go through your answers. Check for common errors like misplaced modifiers or incorrect pronoun usage. Ensure your sentences are not only grammatically correct, but also clear and logical. In closing, remember that acing a grammar test is about a solid grasp of the basics, regular practice, contextual understanding, and careful test-taking strategies. Embrace the nuances of English grammar with curiosity and enthusiasm, and you'll find that it's not a hurdle, but a fascinating aspect of the language that adds clarity and precision to our communication.
Reading comprehension and summary writing. Next, I am here to discuss a fundamental skill that is pivotal in both academic and everyday life: acing reading comprehension tests. Reading comprehension is not just about understanding the words on a page. It's about grasping the underlying ideas, themes, and nuances. Let's delve into effective strategies for mastering reading comprehension answer tests and summary tests. First, let's talk about reading comprehension answer tests. These tests assess your ability to understand and interpret written material. The key to success here is active reading. When you read a passage, engage with the text. Ask yourself questions about the main idea, the author's purpose, and the tone of the piece. For example, if the passage is an article about the effects of global warming, identify the central argument, the evidence presented, and the author's tone. Is it urgent, informative, or persuasive? As you read, take notes or highlight key points. This will help you locate important information when answering questions. Focus on understanding rather than just memorizing facts. For instance, if the text mentions the melting of polar ice caps, think about why this is significant and how it relates to the broader topic of global warming. When it comes to answering the questions, read them carefully. Make sure you understand what is being asked. Are you required to infer something? Are you looking for a specific detail? For example, a question might ask, what can be inferred about the author's viewpoint on renewable energy? Here, you need to synthesize information from the passage to identify the author's stance. Now, moving on to reading comprehension summary tests. These tests require you to condense the main ideas of a text into a concise and coherent summary. The challenge is to distill the essence of the passage while retaining its core message. Start by identifying the main ideas and supporting details. A useful technique is to mentally divide the text into sections and summarize each section in one sentence. For example, if the first paragraph of the article discusses the causes of global warming, your summary sentence might be, global warming is primarily caused by increased greenhouse gas emissions from human activities. When writing your summary, be clear and succinct. Use your own words rather than copying phrases from the text. This demonstrates your understanding and avoids the pitfall of plagiarism. Connect your summary sentences logically, ensuring they flow together and reflect the progression of ideas in the original text. A common mistake in summary test is including unnecessary details. Avoid this by constantly asking yourself whether a piece of information is crucial to the overall understanding of the text. Remember, a summary is not a rewrite. It's a distillation. In both types of tests, time management is crucial. Allocate your time wisely. Spend enough time reading and understanding the passage, but also leave ample time to answer the questions or write the summary. Lastly, practice is key to improving your reading comprehension skills. Read a variety of texts, articles, essays, fiction, and practice summarizing and answering questions on them. Over time, you'll develop a sharper understanding and greater efficiency in handling these tests. In conclusion, acing reading comprehension test is about active and analytical reading, identifying main ideas, summarizing effectively, answering questions accurately, and, importantly, practice. Embrace the challenge, and you will not only excel in tests, but also enhance your overall ability to engage with and understand the written word.
Listening comprehension. Next, I want to share with you some essential strategies for acing an English listening comprehension test. Listening comprehension is a skill that not only plays a crucial role in language learning, but also in understanding and engaging with the world around us. Let's explore how we can enhance this skill and excel in listening comprehension tests. Firstly, it's important to understand what a listening comprehension test typically involves. You will be asked to listen to passages, conversations, or lectures, and then answer questions based on what you've heard. These tests assess your ability to understand and interpret spoken English, focusing on aspects like main ideas, details, inferences, and the speaker's attitude. The first step in acing a listening test is active listening. This means fully concentrating on the audio, not just hearing it. Before the test, practice active listening in your daily life. Listen to English podcasts, songs, or news. Focus on understanding the content, the tone of the speaker, and the context. For instance, if you listen to a podcast about environmental conservation, pay attention to the specific arguments made, the evidence presented, and the speaker's tone. Is it urgent, persuasive, or informative? During the test, make the most of the time given for reading the questions before the audio plays. Understanding the questions first can give you a clear idea of what to listen for. For example, if a question asks about the speaker's opinion on a topic, you know to listen specifically for phrases or words that indicate personal beliefs or attitudes. As the audio plays, it's crucial to stay focused. Avoid getting distracted by individual words you might not understand. Listening comprehension is not just about understanding every word, but grasping the overall meaning. If the audio is a conversation between two people discussing their favorite books, don't worry if you miss a word or two. Focus on understanding the gist of their conversation, their preferences, reasons, and any shared opinions. Taking notes can be incredibly helpful, but remember to keep it brief. Develop a system of shorthand or symbols that can help you jot down key points quickly and efficiently. For instance, you could use arrows to show cause and effect, or draw simple icons to represent main ideas. After listening, when answering the questions, rely on your notes and memory. Be wary of options that seem correct but don't match the information you heard. Test creators often include distractor options that are partially true or plausible, but not exactly what was stated. For multiple choice questions, after narrowing down your options, if you're unsure, trust your first instinct. Often your first choice is based on the immediate understanding you had while listening. In summary writing or long answer questions, organize your thoughts clearly. Stick to the information you heard and avoid adding any assumptions or external knowledge. Lastly, regular practice is key to improvement. Listening skills develop over time with consistent exposure and practice. Make a habit of listening to diverse English content and challenge yourself with different accents and speeds. In a nutshell, acing an English listening comprehension test is about active listening, understanding the context of the questions, focused note-taking, careful analysis of the options provided, and regular practice. Embrace every opportunity to listen to English in varied contexts, and you'll see your comprehension skills grow significantly.
Oral communication, reading aloud, speaking test, and spoken interaction test. Finally, I'm here to talk about excelling in English oral communication tests, which often encompass reading aloud, speaking, and spoken interaction. These skills are not only pivotal in academic settings, but also essential in everyday life. Let's explore how you can master these aspects of oral communication. Let's start with reading aloud. This test assesses your ability to pronounce words correctly and convey the content effectively. The key here is clarity and expression. Firstly, familiarize yourself with the passage. If you have time before the test, read through it, identifying any challenging words or phrases. Practice pronouncing these words correctly. For example, words like epitome or hyperbole can be tricky. Use online resources or dictionaries to hear the pronunciation. When reading aloud, pace yourself. It's not a race. Aim for a speed that is natural and allows you to enunciate clearly. Pay attention to punctuation. Pauses at commas and full stops are not just necessary for correct reading, they also give the listener time to absorb the information. For instance, Consider the sentence. In the heart of the city, amidst the bustling streets, stands an ancient cathedral. The commas guide you to pause, creating a rhythm that enhances understanding. Expression is crucial. Your tone should reflect the content of the passage. If it's a suspenseful story, your voice should convey tension. If it's a cheerful narrative, let your tone be light and lively. Expression breathes life into words, captivating your audience. Now, let's talk about the speaking test. This might involve presenting a topic or giving a speech. The key here is organization and content. Start with a clear introduction. For instance, if your topic is the importance of environmental conservation, begin with a striking fact or question. Did you know that over 1 million species are at risk of extinction due to environmental degradation? Structure your speech with clear points. Each point should be backed by evidence or examples. Use transitions like furthermore, however, or in conclusion to guide your audience through your speech. Be aware of your language, use varied vocabulary, and avoid repetition. However, clarity is more important than using complex vocabulary. Your delivery is as important as your content. Maintain good posture and eye contact. This conveys confidence. Be mindful of your voice modulation. Use emphasis to highlight key points and vary your tone to keep the audience engaged. Finally, the spoken interaction test, often a conversation or a discussion, assesses your ability to communicate effectively in a social context. The key here is active listening and responsiveness. In these tests, you might be asked to discuss a topic with a partner or participate in a role play. Listen attentively to what your partner says. This will help you respond appropriately. Be clear in your responses and use language that is suitable for the conversation. For example, if you're role-playing a job interview, your language should be formal and respectful. If it's a casual conversation about hobbies, a more relaxed tone is appropriate. Show engagement through nodding or using phrases like, I see, or that's interesting. However, avoid interrupting the other speaker. Politeness and respect are crucial in spoken interactions. In all these tests, managing nervousness is important. Practice breathing exercises or speak in front of a mirror to build confidence. Remember, everyone feels nervous, but preparation and practice can significantly ease anxiety. Acing English oral communication tests in reading aloud, speaking, and spoken interaction is about clear pronunciation, effective expression, organized content, active listening, and confident delivery. Embrace every opportunity to practice these skills, be it through participating in discussions, giving speeches, or reading aloud. With dedication and practice, you'll not only excel in these tests, but also become a more confident and effective communicator. In conclusion, mastering the English language examinations is a multifaceted endeavor that extends beyond mere academic achievement. It's about cultivating a deep understanding and appreciation of language. By honing your skills in narrative and argumentative writing, embracing the subtleties of situational context, and engaging creatively with your expressions, you prepare not just for a test, but for a lifetime of effective communication. Remember, each component of these exams offers a unique opportunity to showcase your linguistic prowess and creativity. Approach them with confidence, preparedness, and a zest for the richness of the English language. Congratulations on completing this journey through the diverse aspects of English language examinations. You've explored the realms of narrative, argumentative, and creative writing, honed your skills in situational contexts, and dived into the nuances of grammar and comprehension. This guide is more than just preparation for exams. It's a pathway to effective and confident communication in English. Keep practicing, stay curious, and remember that the beauty of language lies in its power to connect us all. Continue to nurture your love for English and watch as it opens new horizons in both your academic and personal life. Repeat watching this video as many times as you want, or go to a specific segment that you wish to revisit to get a better grasp of the section. Remember to like and forward our videos to your friends and family members so they too can benefit. Subscribe to us and choose Receive All Notifications so you won't miss any important updates. Be sure to visit Bite-Sized Essentials again Have fun learning.